Hey guys, it's John with ReelBlue Custom Rods. And today we're going to talk about how to install EVA foam grips like these two here. I have a CFX Crosscut EVA foam grip here, and then just your kind of standard EVA foam grip. I'm going to talk about two different ways to install this, just to make sure that everybody's aware of the techniques. And so let's go ahead and get started. So the first one that I'm going to go ahead and install is going to be this shorter handle here. And what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and install that on this rod that I'm building right here, this downrigger rod, downrigger trolling rod. And so we're going to go ahead and install this and put it on here. A couple of things about doing the install. So the first thing that I've done is I've gone ahead and I've already reamed out the handle here, the EVA foam grip. So I've reamed it out to make it a little bit larger on the inside so I can slide it down over the handle. But as you can see, it doesn't make it all the way down there. So I can ream it out a little bit more if I like. Or I can just go ahead and install it, which is what I'm going to do, and which is what I'm going to go ahead and show you guys how to do. So let's go ahead and get a mixing stick. We'll get our part A and part B, two-part paste, and we got to go ahead and get a piece of cardboard. So I'm going to go ahead and move this rod really quick. We'll go ahead and start with our part A, our resin. Again, as always, equal amounts. I'm doing two handles, so I'm going to go ahead and get enough out for both of those and mix those up at the same time. And I just want to make sure I got plenty of paste. All right, now we're going to come back with our part B, the hardener. Again, equal parts. And that's about right, I think. And then what we'll do is just go ahead and mix this up. All right, we'll go ahead and set that aside. Now what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and just make sure we're good to go. Take our 3M pad and our blank that we're working with, our rod. Now I'm going to go ahead and make sure that what I'm going to go ahead and do is mark where that handle is going to be at right there. And then I'll set that aside, and I'm just going to come back. And you can see I've already buffed it out to here. Now I just want to, I've already kind of roughed it up right here and dulled that surface. I just want to continue all the way to this mark where this handle is going to end up at. And go just a smidge past that for the winding check. All right. And then what I want to do is I'm going to come back and I'm just going to wipe that down, get any of that residual carbon off of there. And then what I like to do is I like to come in with some frog tape, yellow frog tape. I like to come in with some yellow frog tape because the handle is already installed. The reel seat is already installed and the threads are up. And with this handle coming down, it's going to push some epoxy over those threads. And so to make it a little bit easier on myself when it comes to cleaning up and applying this, is I'm just trying to cover those threads up a little bit. I'll just tuck that down. So I got that nice. A little bit is exposed right here is okay. Then what I'm going to do, let me go ahead and get my handle started, is go ahead and start applying some of this 2-part paste. And then I'll come back and I'll show you something. So I've covered everything that I've kind of buffed out with that 3M pad with the paste, right? But as we know, my handle only comes down to about here, and that's where the paste starts. Again, I've rimmed this out quite a bit already, the handle already. So I'm just making a mental note of where that handle is at. And what I'm going to do for this one is I am going to apply the paste past where I want that to go. Now, I'm sure some of you are probably aware of this, or you may not be aware. This is a technique on applying this handle. There's other ways to apply EVA foam, but I'm showing you this way first, and then I'll show you another way here in a minute. So I've got pretty much this whole handle coated, or the whole blank coated. And then now all I'm going to do is I'm going to start sliding this EVA foam grip down over this paste that I started. And I'll twist it and I'll kind of come back and forth a little bit. And what I'm trying to do is get as much of that paste as I can inside this handle, or this grip, if you will, because that will help me slide it down. That is the kind of the trick when you're doing it in this technique. When you're going to go ahead and, put the handle on EVA foam and slide it down the rest of the way to make it have a good tight fit, you want to make sure you have plenty of your paste inside that handle. And you'll know because it'll get easy to twist once you get enough of it in there. And then if you don't have enough, you just back it off some more. Again, twist it, slide it down, help coat the inside. All right, yeah, we're getting pretty good here. Okay, so I've got it on there pretty good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and take off a little bit of this excess paste. I'm just going to put a towel on this handle. Now all I'm going to do is just force this down all the way down to the end, right down to that reel seat. And then what I will do is I will come back with my stick, take off all of this extra paste, which I'm going to use on the other handle install here in a moment. All right. And before I come back to that, so down here, you can see where I've got paste on my handle or on my blank, and I need to go ahead and clean that up. Go ahead and get some of that isopropyl alcohol on a shop towel, get it nice and covered. And then I'm just going to take and work this shop towel with this isopropyl alcohol on it and take that finish, or that paste right off of there. And I need to make sure I clean the entire blank and get any of that paste off of there, especially if it, could have come from my hand or something like that, right? If I might have touched it. And then what I want to do is I want to come back here where I had this tape. I'm going to wipe that off. I'll come back and take the tape off. And then I'm wiping this handle off. I'm going to stick that chop towel down in that first ring down in here and make sure I get any pro paste out of there, and then clean that handle off. And then again, one more time, come back on the blank itself here, make sure I got everything clean. And just wipe that whole blank down. And then what I like to do is just take it, hold it with that towel, with that isopropyl alcohol, and then go set it down where I know it'll dry and nothing will get on that. That we are going to add this EVA foam grip to. And so again, what I want to do is I want to go ahead and make a mark. My grease pencil. All right, I've made that mark there. Again, that is just so I know how far down I want to buff out and take just a little bit of sheen off this rod. All right, so I've done that. I've taken that all off. Just wipe that down with a little bit of alcohol, clean it up. Now what I would like to show you is the diameter of this foam grip for this rod. Even though this is a pretty thick rod, it is kind of loose. You can see it just slides up and down on there. And that's okay. If you have a foam handle, EVA foam handle that you're putting on, it doesn't have to, be a tight fit like we did on that first one to where you got to slide it down all the way over. That's a great way to do it. It's on there. But another way to install these is by basically building arbors for your grips. And you can do it. I've done it for a long time. You just got to make sure, you keep a lot of contact between the blank and the EVA foam grip itself. So you can't have a lot of arbors. But usually I like to do 3. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead. Let me just check one more time. Yep. So I'm going to go ahead and place some tape on the spots that I want to have the arbors at. One down here, one in the middle. So the first one, I'll go ahead, get this set up. I'm not going to take a lot of tape. I'm going to slide that down. I'm looking for a nice tight, that's perfect. Like I'm just barely pushing on the back end over here and it's not sliding forward. I really got to push down on it. So that one is perfect. So now I want to come back in here and build up this second arbor. And again, I'm not building huge arbors on here. The gap is not going to be very large between the handle and the blank. Yep, perfect right there. And then we'll do the last one. Okay, and we'll check this one. Oh, just a little loose. We'll put a little bit more. want just a little more tape on there. I want it a little tighter, a little more snug when I slide it over. Yep, perfect. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and take my Pro Paste, and I will start applying this to these arbors that I've created. I'm just doing a good coating. This is why I made plenty of paste. I want to make sure I have plenty of this stuff in here to make sure I get a good bond between the EVA foam handle and the blank and the arbors that I've built up. I'm covering every piece of blank on here. And then what I will do, got a little bit on my finger. So then what I will do is I will come down even to the end down here. Cover the tape. And then I'm going to take it and drop some right down in here. Now, of course, once I slide this handle down, some of that will get pushed in there. As you may have noticed, what I did not do is I did not put the yellow painter's tape here because there's no threads there. So when I slide it down, the paste will just kind of come over it, which is easy to clean up. And again, I'm just going through making sure I've got plenty of Pro Paste on here. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to start sliding I'm just going to start sliding this handle on here with a twist. And I'll just slowly back some of this paste off, kind of push it out in front of itself here. Making sure I got a good coating of paste between the handle and the blank. And I just keep spinning and sliding it down. And I'll stop. Again, just push this paste back out in front of it. Okay. And keep spinning the handle. And then as I'm getting close down here to the end, just kind of taking off this big goop of paste. Then I'll sit right here and I'll spin that around for a few minutes, back it off, make sure I got a good even coating in there. And I just slide the handle down and in there. And then I like to line this crosshatch handle up so these cross marks are in line with the spine of the rod. And then now all I'm going to do is come back. Pop that off of there. Shop towel and isopropyl alcohol. I'm just cleaning this up. I'm cleaning off my reel seat, making sure I got no paste on there. And then also making sure I got any of that off of my EVA foam handle. And I'm going to do this one more time for good measure, just to make sure I don't have anything in there. And then that's it. That's the install. I will come back down here and clean up this end right here. And it's just making sure I get any paste that was back out of here. We get that off. That way I get a nice clean fit when we install the winding check on there. And that's pretty much it. To recap, we added this short 4-inch EVA foam grip by sliding it down and using plenty of Pro Paste underneath there to slide it down all the way. And then we've also come back and I showed you how you could build arbors to support your EVA foam grips, just like we did for installing the nylon smooth butt. You can do the same thing for the foregrip. You just have to make sure you use plenty of paste, good quality paste, and you have to make sure that you have good contact between the handle and the blank itself. You can't have a lot of arbors in there, right? Sometimes people think the more arbors you have, the better. It's actually the complete opposite. The less arbors you have, the better, which means you have more contact between the handle surface and the blank itself, which is going to guarantee you're gonna have a rod that has a less opportunity for a malfunction or for failure out on the water. So, hey, I hope you got something out of this video. If you found it useful, please hit the like button and feel free to share the video with somebody else. And if this is your first time at ReelBlue Custom Rods and you're not subscribed yet, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications. And that way you know every time I release a video, twice a week, Mondays at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And on Thursdays, usually any time of the day, I'll put one out there. Just depends on what I've got going on. But turn on notifications. That way you're notified when those videos come out. And if you got any comments or any questions, go ahead and leave them down in the comments block below. Watch this next video here. And until next time, take care, guys. Goodbye.